Hello, welcome to August in my garden. Yep, August in a Scottish garden pretty much is rain. I don't know if you guys can actually hear it just now or not, but it pretty much just from the end of July right through August rains in Scotland. Warm rain, let me just be clear here, because it's not quite technically the end of summer yet, so it's warm rain and warm wind, but generally, yeah, that's the weather. So for the last few weeks, I've been desperately trying to jump in and out when it's not raining to get filming done for you guys. But it has been raining non-stop now for ages. And it's due to keep raining non-stop for about 5 or 6 more days. So I'll see what we can do today. Instead of doing a normal planned thing, we're just going to have a pooter around today. It might be all in the greenhouse, it just depends on the weather. If we get breaks, I'm going to run in and out if we can, but we'll start in here and we'll see how we go. So yeah, August, so this will be your kind of August little chatty update in the garden-y thing, garden greenhouse. But you guys like a good greenhouse update anyway, so let me tell you what has been going on. And I'm going to start with my peppers. Oh, this year I have got Romano peppers and I've got my California Wonder. So these are the two variety I'm growing this year. You guys have been around for a while will know that I've tried a few different types over the years to see what I liked, and these are the ones I've settled on. And I'm telling you what, it must be the neem oil, because I am having the best year ever for the peppers. Normally I'm fighting with the earwigs and the earwigs are just eating everything. This year I've got so many and they all look absolutely brilliant, no holes in any of them. So I am so chuffed with the peppers. But yeah, even the Golden Wonder, that's a bag of crisps. Even the California Wonder, all big and lovely and gorgeous. And the other thing, because I know you guys are dying to know, Jim, as you can see, he's doing okay. He's still here. He's got some leaves back. I have had 6 or 7 ripe tomatoes off and taste fantastic. I'm starting to see some evidence that there is some dieback on some of the leaves. It's got that crumbly, dry brown sort of tips on them again. So he's basically still, he's not in quarantine, but he's in intensive care, let's say. So I'm looking after him as best I can. The other one here, this is my Roma tomato, my plum tomato. This is the bush, so it's much shorter than all the other plants. I've had 5 or 6 ripe good plums off of this guy already, well chuffed. And there's loads more on the plant, so I can't wait. And I'm going to leave Marman to last. We're going to jump now to this guy. This guy here, now I don't know how good you can see this. Basically the light in here is sucky today, so I can't even see. But this is the Sweet Million. Little cherries. I have had so many tomatoes off this. It has been amazing. Just so many. This guy's always the leader. Fantastic. The big excitement this year for me has been the Marmande, which is this guy here with these enormous big things. I have got so many. They're just, oh God, you can't believe, just gorgeous. Normally I don't get this many tomatoes off, so this is a crazy year for me. For the Marmandes, it's just unheard of. To the point where he got so heavy with all this fruit, it couldn't hold its own weight and it was falling over. So I had to go take away the 2 pole system that the quad grow was doing because it just wasn't enough, and get my old silver kind of twirly metal sticks things in again, and string and everything to hold it up. So I don't know if you can see, but we've got string going across the roof everywhere because I'm holding up a lot of the tomatoes with it. So tomatoes and peppers this year, yeah, well happy. Things that are just better than normal, some things not as good as normal, but I wouldn't say I'm unhappy. That rain's gone off, we might get out. Yeah, so the other thing was the herbs on this side. So I have got, as usual, now I have got, as usual, my tender herbs are in here. My other herbs are out in the garden, and I'll take you out there in a wee bit to go and have a wee look at those guys. But my tarragon is awesome, and I'm using loads of this. I've got brand new dill coming because all the dill had passed, so that's new stuff I've planted. And as always, basil's brilliant. So yeah. So in general, in here, it's been quite good. I'm quite happy. Oh, there's one thing else I need to show you. And that is, Georgie, this is Morag. She'll be whiling her way to you soon. I'm just trying to organise how I'm going to get her to you. Morag is a baby that came from my big jade plant. So, but yeah, that's it. Right. The rain seems to have stopped and there's a couple of breaks coming in the clouds again. So let's get out, get in the garden. It's just some little chores I've got to get done in the garden today. Nothing major. But yeah, let's go and get that done. So, out here quickly in the gaps between the rain because there's jobs that need done. But I thought it might be awesome to do an update on the courgettes in the quad grow. Appropriate. The Greenhouse Sensations guys sent me a free t-shirt, so yeah, because you know what it's like as a gardener. Awesome free gardening clothes because you go through them. But anyways, look at the state of these. Rain! So, I think I'm going to call it on this one. This was an experiment and I'm going to call it and say, nah, it doesn't work in the quad grow. I really thought it would, but I don't know whether it's just there's not enough space in the pot or they just don't like being this high up or not as sheltered. I don't know what it is, I can't say, but I know for definite that these just are appalling. I'm not really getting courgettes off them. I've had like 3 or 4 maybe. Most of them are actually turning to mush when they're really tiny. Just not happy. And you guys know, as a gardener, sometimes you have to make decisions. The upkeep of me looking after these is not worth it if they're not producing. Now the other funny thing, and this is how I know it's not working, I've never filled up this quad grow. I filled it the day that I planted these, or the day it was ready to get filled after I planted these, and I have never filled it since, just not taking up the water. So I think they're actually maybe just getting soaked with the rain and surviving on that, and it's probably not helping. But sorry. I know this is heartbreaking for some of you guys, but you know, this is just life as a gardener. Next job. Next job then is the herbs. As you can see, well, this is a bit of a thing. We're all individual on this. Technically, you should never let your herbs go to flower or go to seed because it changes the flavours. But it's in my garden, it's part of my garden, and look at the blackcurrant sage. It just looks gorgeous, and the whole herb bed with the chive flowers and the oregano flowers and everything, it's just gorgeous and I love it. So I do let them go to flower, and you know what? I don't care what anyone says. But I do have to do some pruning here with this, the thyme. Now, I did love having the thyme flowers, but I'm going to show you here, thyme can go really woody if you leave it to go, so you need to really be quite brutal in chopping it back. And I mean brutal, we're talking pretty much Chelsea chop here. Suppose if you use heaps of thyme, then this won't really be a problem because, you know, you'll be using the thyme and it'll get chopped as you use it. But we have one of those households where we each have our favourites. I quite like thyme. Kate likes a little bit of thyme, so we don't use a lot of it. Okay, so bit of a brutal haircut, but trust me, it will come back. In fact, it'll come back all the better. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. Now, I'm not going to brutally cut back the blackcurrant sage because I quite like it. I will for winter coming. I'm going to leave it for just now, just for the flowers and things. But I'm going to cut back some of the other stuff. And there's more thyme on this side. Oregano. Oregano is another shrubby herb that will get quite tall and quite big. and very woody. And you don't want the woody, you want the nice, soft, fresh tips. So again, about this time of year, I always give it a good chop back. And again, it always comes back with vengeance. So don't feel sorry for it. And the gorgeous stuff at the front is all my different types of mint. So I've got ginger mint, strawberry mint, and that's lime mint there. And the standards, parsley and everything. That's what I'm going to do for here. So give these a clean. And on to the next bit. So we all loved the foxgloves. Let's be honest, who didn't think this bit looked amazing? I have collected seeds for next year. I've learned my lesson, not as many this time. So now it's just time to cut back. Yes, it's sad, but this is life. And I can already see these guys have seeded like mad. So it's going to be interesting to see next season, see what we have with foxgloves. This is one of the sad realities, the massive, just crazy amount of rain we get. Not everything survives it. These hanging baskets have really taken bad. They're just soaking wet. They just can't drain quick enough, so I'm going to put a guess that basically the roots are all rotten. So these will have to get changed up. It's really sad, but that's life. Right, last wee chores I've got to do then. I've got to go and grab some bits and pieces for dinner. The rain's just coming back on. Great. Need some beetroot and some carrots for dinner. It's not bad, is it? And that's the beauty of growing your own veg. I only need a few bits and pieces for dinner, so I just need to pick a few bits and pieces for dinner. It's not like when you go to the supermarket and you have to buy the whole big thing. Can't remember the name of it, like a big bunch of carrots or bag of carrots, and then you don't use them all and they sit in your fridge and they go soft. This way, I'm just going to grab the bits I need. Now, need some more beetroot. Oh yeah, notice how lovely these courgettes are doing? These ones are glorious, I'm leaving these ones. One more. And that's plenty. Peas, not peas, I keep getting this wrong, the beans. The beans have actually worked this year. This is awesome. These are fandango, which are little dwarf plants. To be honest, we eat a lot of green beans, so the dwarf plants are maybe not enough for us. But this is the very first year we've actually managed to grow beans and it's worked. So quite excited, so we'll see what happens next year. So the very last thing I need then is a harvest. I've got tomatoes, don't need any more, but I said to you I was going to do a pesto, so I need basil. I'm not going to lecture you guys on how you pick or prune basil, because I've done that in videos already. So if you haven't seen them and you're thinking, Whoa, how come your basil's that massive? How do I get mine to look like that? I'll shove the videos up there for you as usual. Now, the thing is with pestos, you need quite a lot. And then that'll be me for the day. Go and get a cup of tea, a wee seat. Right, that should be enough. Oh, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed a bit of an unusual August garden video, because it is quite funny how often the weather really impacts on what I can do with you guys. I spend a whole week sitting waiting for a break in the rain so I can come out and film. But there you go, so August in the garden. I hope you guys had a bit of fun, because sometimes it's nice to not do a thing for a video. Sometimes it's nice just to have a wee potter and a wee blether in the garden, really. Yeah, and the greenhouse as well. So next week I'm probably going to do a wee bit about my houseplants for you guys, because I have got some houseplants chores that need to be done, and it's some handy things that might be good for you guys to know about that as well. General plant husbandry type stuff. But I suppose that leaves for the very last thing to say is thank you to Greenhouse Sensations for sending me the awesome free t-shirt to wear. I just thought this would be a great example for you to maybe speak to your marketing guys and go, white's not a great colour for gardeners really. Sorry. But yeah, as usual, if you like this sort of stuff, grow those likes, hit that little thumbs up button, and if you want to join our fantastic community and see more of this type of stuff, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified, okay? And lastly, I want to give an awesome shout out to a few people who gave me the biggest, most amazing smiley week this week. Number one, David and Ellen, I hope I got that right, who sent us the beautiful pothos plant. Thank you so much. You'll see that in the houseplants video next week, and I'll tell you guys about that stuff. You guys made me smile so much this week. In fact, you made me a bit teary as well. And the other shout out to Babby, new subscriber this week, Baron in Kentucky. Oh, again, you gave me such massive smiles this week. It's awesome having you aboard. And I hope you enjoy the new greenhouse, and I hope the other half's not too angry at you spending your pennies on it. But anyway, that's me for this week in the greenhouse. And as I said earlier, Georgie, I'll get Morag to you as soon as I can. Morag came from my big jade plant, so there you go, she's the baby. Right. I'm away in to get a cup of tea and get started on the pesto. See you guys.